And welcome back into the shed. I'm JP Bedell of SDA Lighting and Delivered Lumens. Today we're going to talk about Evo-Lite. They are backlighting masters. They've been doing this for over a decade, and they want to collaborate with you. But we're going to talk about their products today. First of all, stick around through the demo, because right after we do our demo, we're going to drop our promo code. And today's prize is a $50 Amazon gift card as a thank you for taking some time on this Friday morning to join me. So, thanks for joining us. Let's drop right into it, okay? So, the first product we're going to talk about is actually one I don't have a sample of here right now today, and the reason is it's a very simple product. It's an edge-lit panel. They've been around for years. They're rather commoditized at this point. You can get them through Evo-Lite, but it's not something we focus on. But if you want to make cool shapes, you can do it with Evo-Lite. All right, we're going to jump right into the tabletop here. So, welcome. There are two main flavors of product that I think are going to be important for you guys on a day-to-day basis. The first is Origami. Origami is the flexible sheet product that you can see right here. This happens to be a tunable white version, but what I want to really get across with this is, this larger sample will show you, it's a completely flexible, really robust backlighting product. You can fold this basically in half. It's also field cuttable, right? So the side that's getting power, if I cut this out in any shape I want, all of these LEDs are going to remain lit, okay? So it's a very flexible product for different, interesting shapes or anything you're trying to create in the field or from the factory. So a couple other things to know about Origami. The basic sheet is 20 inches by 9 inches. You can connect up to 8 to them on a power supply and maintain your UL rating. 11 watts per sheet. They come in static, tunable, RGB, and RGBW, and they're UL listed even when they're modified. So even if you go ahead and trim that in the field, you're not voiding any warranties, okay? Pardon my microphone. But the other family I want to talk about is tracks, okay? So tracks are a series of LED bars like this that are shipped in an up to 16 square foot roll, right? So they're just in a tube, unroll them. You snap the LED bars into this rail mounting system, and that's pretty much the whole installation. The thing to know about these, large scale applications with tracks, right? So you're doing a big Barrisol ceiling, tracks is going to be the solution that you're going to look toward. 3-inch minimum gap to the surface that you're backlighting, okay, for even mixing. You're going to see that in a second. Ships in 16-foot square rolls, we talked about that. Or you can have these mounted to a panel. So if you want these in a particular shape, or you want the contractor to have a very easy job installing them, you ship them on a panel, they screw them to the substrate, you connect power, and you move forward. Rail system for easy install. So this is going to set your spacing based on the design that is already talked about and collaborated on. IP65 for indoor and outdoor use, which is also true of Origami, if I didn't say that. And then the last thing I'll mention is the cut, snap, and connect system. So let's say as you do this roll, there's an edge where you've got 3 or 4 spare inches. You simply cut along the edge, snap off the excess bar, and you'll fit right into the cavity that you're trying to backlight. All available in static, tunable white, which you see here, and RGBW. And we're going to light all those up for you right now. What I have in my hand here is a small little sheet of the Origami that you saw me demonstrate. You can see that flex there. I have this up against the Barrisol. This is the front side of a double layer Barrisol sheet. This is Venus Blanc. And you can see this is the tunable white. I just have both channels on right now. It's just more of a show and tell sort of thing. And what you can see is that even if I get really, really close to that Barrisol, you're not seeing diode imaging. And so really what's going to happen here, then this is the whole science of backlighting, is the closer you get, the more intensity, but obviously you're not filling the void. The further back you get, the better the light mixing, but less intensity. It's going to be very hard, I'm not going to lie to you guys, in camera to show you just how intense one source is from another, but I did want to try and give you a little bit of a comparison. So this is that tunable white sheet from Origami. I have this as a double layer, so this is shooting through 2 layers of Barrisol. I'm right up against the back layer just to show you the intensity of the beam. As I back that off, you're going to see that soften. I think what you can kind of get a sense for, though, if I tuck this into the corner, is just how luminous this could be if I did a complete sheet of the product, right? So if I went corner to corner with this Origami sheet, it's starting to give you a sense for how much light could multiply through this sheet if we went in that direction. So this is the 6-inch tracks, again in tunable white. Now, you're going to see hopefully by comparison, how much brighter the 6-inch square of the track system is when I get this out in front of the Barrisol. So right in the front side of the Barrisol, you can see again, really nice mixing distance, no real diode imaging, no diode imaging at all. Again, tunable white source. I'm going to bring this around the back and hopefully we can show you just how much more intensity you're going to get. So if I put this up in the right in the center like I started with the other one, now I'm touching that back, that rear double layer of the Barrisol. No diode imaging to speak of, really soft light output. Back it up, and obviously I'm going to fill this up even better than I did with the Origami. Now if I bring it to the corner, like I did with Origami, I think you can start to get a sense for just what kind of intensity is possible with the track system, right? Double layer, getting this right up against that, that upper layer. By the way, I think Evo-Lite would not recommend that. I'm just doing that for the sake of this demonstration. But you can really see what that intensity would be if we filled up this entire sheet with that. So tunable white, 6-inch. Okay, I want to show you really quickly. So we looked at this in the previous section, but this is tracks with an optic over the LED, right? Obviously designed to throw light at the target with more intensity. Also designed for a little bit more backlighting distance, right? So you're in a situation where you have a little bit more of a cavity or you need a little more intensity, they're going to recommend this. You can see, again, pretty smooth right up against here, but you can see there's not all that lateral spill light. I'm really throwing light forward out of the LEDs, whereas with the other examples, light was spilling up onto the Barrisol. Bring this around back, center it, and bring it in close. And I think you can see just how much intensity we're getting out of this by comparison to the other examples. When I touch that back layer of Barrisol, you can see that intensity and then the easy back off. I'll bring it to the corner like I did with the other sample, and you can see really this is when you're getting into like, I need the Barrisol to deliver functional light. This is the kind of solution that Evo-Lite's going to offer, right? Versus decorative Barrisol that maybe like a wall inlay or something. This is going to actually project light into the room and make it usable. Is tracks with RGB. So forgive the sort of manic nature of this board, right? When you do these pre-programmed shows, they're a little bit crazy, but you can see it's an RGB chip, right? Very straightforward RGBW. Meant to give you a nice more mix of colors. I'm going to bring this around again. This is a 6-inch board. You can see what it's doing there in the center. You can see what happens when we back out. A much milder effect, right? And then if I bring this up to the corner and touch it to the rear Barrisol, you can see how intense that can be, right? And again, RGB, when you need it, how you need it. We'll work out those solutions as far as spacing of the boards. The thing about tracks in general is how malleable it is. So this arrives pre-rolled or palletized or panelized. All right. So that's the demo. That gives you the basic background of how this is going to look and how it's going to perform behind. This is a double layer Barrisol that you've got behind me here. One thing I want to touch on really quickly is, before we get to that, the promo code. How could I forget? So, this week's promo code, I am in the 25-degree shed. We are expecting a major nor'easter this weekend. My favorite weather pattern has emerged, and it is the bomb cyclone. That's what is apparently happening this weekend here in the Northeast. I don't know. It's a complex weather pattern, but I love the name. So, if you email me at mail@deliveredlumens.lighting, you can be entered to win the $50 Amazon gift card this week. And congratulations to Hugh Lee of Siska Hennessy for winning the $50 gift card last week. So congrats, Hugh. Thank you for watching. Again, promo code is Bomb Cyclone. Email it to me, mail@deliveredlumens.lighting. You got to email it to me having watched the live broadcast. All right. A couple last things to touch on before we wrap it up. The first is, when we did our training with Evo-Lite, one of the things that they really talked about was the need for collaboration. Backlighting is a science. It needs to be talked through and really worked on. And so they have a design center in Colorado. Obviously, that's a remote location, but we can tap in via Zoom or Teams meeting or whatever we want to do to walk through different applications. The other thing that I'll mention is you might have seen the sample that I showed before. is tethered right here to a little mini controller and a USB cable, okay? This is designed for plugging into one of these super cute little Evo-Lite batteries, which can also, by the way, charge your phone. So if you want to test something, you have a little sheet of acrylic or a Barrisol section or something, you just pop it in there and boom, you're ready to rock. So easy little tabletop demonstration, fits in the backpack, very easy to have a conversation with your interior designer or anybody else that you might be working with. On that front, as far as collaboration, beyond design, Evo-Lite also works to fabricate. So if you need help or if your contractor needs to work on something, you can see in this application, the Origami is bent over a corner. It also has luminous spacers. So they were backlighting a material that needed to have a consistent spacing. Those luminescent spacers were there to provide that. Similarly, large scale, you can see the sort of crescent shape in this application, panelized systems that Evo-Lite put together in their shop prior to palletizing and shipping out to the job site. SDA is the New York Barrisol rep, and you can see the marriage of Evo-Lite and Barrisol is pretty clear. We think it's obviously it's a marriage that Barrisol has embraced with the Backlight product, but it's also a great custom application. So you can see here in a car dealership, Trax is mounted up in the ceiling, beautiful even illumination across the cars. But then there's also smaller design boutique applications, things like backlighting, this backsplash at the bar for this restaurant application, or even in residential applications, making countertops float through underlighting using Origami. All right, we are out of time. So thank you very much for joining me. Next week, we are going to have ALW's brand new highlighter. You may have known the original. This is a brand new product. Can't wait to get it in the shed. We're gonna do some wall grazing. It's gonna be fun. You can always follow along at deliveredlumens.lighting, where I've got blog posts and videos and all kinds of parts and pieces to show new products, lighting concepts, articles, whatever you need. I'm always interested in your feedback. So mail at deliveredlumens.lighting. The promo code today is BOMBCYCLONE for that $50 Amazon gift card. And any other thoughts you have, things you'd like to see on the show, things you'd like to see me change, add, whatever. I get so many nice notes and I really appreciate it. And then, of course, you can follow me at Delivered Lumens on Instagram, daily story updates and talking about lighting. And I want to get to know what you're doing, so reach out. Thank you so much for joining me this morning.